Hey guys, this is Jose, Carmona lead pastor here at Scarlet Note. We're so excited that you have decided to check out our podcast. We hope that you are blessed tremendously. The only thing that we ask is that, hey, you may consider to share this particular teaching with as many people as possible. That would really bless our socks off. So listen, for more information about our church, look us up online at scarletnote.org, where you can find information about our church service times, special events, and more. So bless you. And now, do me a favor, let's turn your attention to today's teaching now in progress.
God is in control, and you just let him do what he needs to do. You get what I'm saying? So because we're going to talk about family today, I'm going to speak from the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, verse 14. I think we have that up, do we? Okay, I'm going to get out of this projectors. It says, "Therefore I positioned men behind the lower parts of the walls at the openings. I set people according to their families with the swords and their spears and their bows. I said to the nobles and leaders and people, do not be afraid of them." Do not be afraid of who? Of them. Everyone, them. Do not be afraid of who? Them. Remember that the Lord is great and awesome. And it says, fight for your brother. Fight for your sons. Fight for your daughter. Fight for your Whenever you hear the sounds of trumpet, rally to us. There, our God will fight for us. The reason why I want to talk from the scriptures is because at this moment, Nehemiah is sending a group of people and surrounding these walls. And they're not just surrounding the wall of just people who were soldiers, but people just like us. Normal people just like us. They were preparing them with weapons of mass destruction. No, I'm just playing. But they were preparing them with weapons to fight. You see, as the Israelites were working at rebuilding the wall around Jerusalem, there were other groups of people who wanted to stop them. How many people have people that just want to stop you sometimes? They tried to discourage them and threaten them. Now, Nehemiah posted people all around the wall with weapons to protect everyone from the enemies coming against them. He reminded them to not be afraid because God is awesome, and then encouraged them to fight for their families. You see, during the Old Testament times, people had to physically fight. It wasn't like a tweet. It wasn't like a Facebook comment kind of fight. It was like a real fight, like a fist fight. There was blood. There was black eyes. This was like a real fight. You see, when Jesus came, he changed the fighting status from physical fighting to a spiritual fighting. That's good. Let me say that again. When Jesus came, thank you for saying that's good because you hyping me up. When Jesus came, he changed the fighting status from a physical fighting to a spiritual fighting. Now, a person is to love his physical enemies and do good to them. You see, the fight today is now a spiritual fight. Every believer in Jesus must fight against spiritual forces that are in this world. These forces are the forces of greed, of theft, of lust, of hatred, of jealousy, of violence, and the list can go on and on and on and on. This war right now is happening on Facebook. This war right now is happening on Tweet. This war is happening on Instagram. And it's because when you see a picture, you be like, is that the life that they're really living? You start to compare yourself. That's the war that's happening. It's becoming a spiritual that as soon as we see a picture, we start to get all emotional. Oh my gosh, they got a good car, and I don't. Or wow, look at their grass is greener than mine. Or wow, look at their house is bigger than mine. And we start to compare, and that's not what we're here to do. As believers, you also have his strength and victory of these forces. As believers, you also have his strength and victory over these forces. You see, having a family means that you must fight for their spiritual lives. Daily fight daily fight for them. You must fight for them daily in praying that God will draw their hearts to him and protect them from the attacks and lies of the enemy. You don't know how many times I'm on my knees praying. People say, oh, we got to go over there. We got to jack them up because they're talking about our family. No. You got to spend more time on your knees praying. Praying for those that are lost. Maybe you're saying, well, how am I going to save my family if I don't have any more kids and they're out the house? My dad calls me up all the time to make sure I'm all right. My mom texts me, say, how you doing, sweetie? They're still my mom and dad. But they're my mom and dad at another level. Because I'm a father, they're checking up on me. Saying, son, you all right? You're going to be okay? Right now, while this MS thing is happening, they're always checking up on me, making sure I'm okay. Right now, I have all their locations on my phone. So when they say, hey, I'm over here, I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, I got you. You see, having a family means that you must fight, and you must fight for their spiritual lives. You see, there are causes for your worth fighting for. There are causes for you. There's a cause for that fight that you give for the protection of your family. Now listen up. If the home is the number one priority for the devil, it must be the number one priority for you. Whoa. Say it again. That was good. It made me tremble. If the word is the number one, if your home is the number one priority for the devil, it must be the number one priority for you. When you stop worrying about the home, it just starts falling apart. It starts falling apart in ways that you can't even imagine, then you can't put the pieces together. You better be committed to God, and you better be committed to your marriage, and you better be committed to your family. If this is a weak area, then the enemy will attack with no problem. You see, be mindful that we have an awesome God, and that the Bible promises that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. We have the promise of God's victory in our home, that he has built on a solid rock. Now, maybe you are saying that it is too late again. Dude, it's too late. My kids are 30 years old. Again, my dad texts me all the time. He FaceTimes me all the time. Before I came, even that night, around like 11 o'clock, he's FaceTiming me. My phone's like, bling, bling, bling. And he's like, are you okay? Do you think you're going to be all right to do this message? And I said, Dad, I got this, man. I got this. But he's checking up on me because he's Pops. I'm about to be 30. He's still Pops. OG. It doesn't stop. Mom sends me pictures. Sometimes she sends me arroz con habichuela y carne. She sends me rice and beans, and I'm like, woo, because that's Mom. Just taking care of me. Now, today I want to talk to you about 4 things that can make your family incredible. Wow. Are y'all ready? Yes. All right. Hopefully you got your iPads out. Take some notes. Andy, can you give me that box over there? Come on, yeah, slide over here. Please give Andy a round of applause. Thank you. The first point I want to say, you guys got pencils, nothing? Okay. An incredible family has fun. So a box of puzzles. This right here represents memories. This right here represents time. This right here represents love. You see, sometimes we're so focused on making that dough and making that money that we don't have time for this. We don't have time to spend time with our kids or with our wives. Again, the enemy is not playing around. Number 1, an incredible family knows how to have fun. Ecclesiastes 8:15 says, so I recommend having fun. The Bible says it. So I recommend having fun. If you're a Christian and you're being stubborn and you're not letting your kids have fun, you're not reading your Bible. Have fun. Understand that we can have fun too. You see, have fun, because there is nothing better for people in this world than to eat, drink, and enjoy life. Now, if you're drinking something else, that's you. But the Bible says, eat, drink, and enjoy life. That way that we will experience some happiness along with all the hard work that God gives them under the sun. See, I'm not saying now that a guy needs to play PS4 all day and not do anything. Gentlemen, stop it. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, hey, you know how yesterday I was able to, I bought some puzzles for my kids, and I was able to spend time with them and have fun with them. We went outside and I had some water balloons and we threw it at each other. You know what it is to play dodgeball with little kids. It's the best feeling in the world. I felt like a superhero, like just, oh, it felt awesome. 1 Timothy 6 says, command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who is richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. Yes. Again, enjoyment. God is going to provide you everything you need through your enjoyment. You see, people ought to enjoy every day of their lives, no matter how long they live. You see, I'm going through this because these are simple points, but people, for some reason, they fall too short on understanding that the first point of an incredible family is have fun. Ecclesiastes 11:8 says, when people live to be very old, let them rejoice in every day of their life. You see, when my dad comes up all nice and got the little hat and looking sharp, I let him have fun. You see? I'm not saying, Dad, no, I'm letting him have fun. He can come any way he wants. I love him so much. Like, yeah, Pop, you look sharp, brother. You look sharp. You look handsome today. Because Ecclesiastes 11:8 says to let them have fun. Now take notes. I love my dad. I love him a lot. I love my mom a lot. But take notes. You see, people won't remember what you say, but they will remember the way you made them feel. My mom and dad has implemented in my life so many memories as I was a child that I have so much laughter in my life. There's nothing that I can say bad about my parents because they were awesome parents. I was in church. Yeah, I remember plugging up these cables at the age of 8. I remember putting speakers up at the age of 10. But all of this developed the person who I am today because I understand the value of all this. I understand what we're doing here. We're winning lives. We're winning lives for Christ, and this happened because of what they instilled in me. So people won't remember what you say, but they will remember how you treat them. Ecclesiastes 9, the reason why I want to represent this with verses is because sometimes people say, you can really have fun as a Christian? Yes, you can have fun. You can have fun. If you're not having fun, you're not living. Ecclesiastes 9 says, enjoy life with your wife. Now, this is a big issue. Slow down. You can enjoy life with your kids, but you must understand that one person next to you that you're married to is very important. At the end of it all, it's going to be you and that other person. Look at us right now. We're grown and we're out the house. And right now, I don't even want to go to my dad's house sometimes. Because my dad and my mom, they love each other so much. I'm like, stop it! But they love each other so much. And because I saw that example, I have to do the same at home. You see, there's moments at home when I'm with my wife and I just put the radio on or put a special song. Like, I love Andre Bocelli. I love the way he sings. And I put him on in the radio. I have my sound system playing. And I get her by the hand and I start dancing. And while I'm dancing, my kids see that I'm dancing with mommy. Because I want them to see that when I'm at home. That at home, we're complete at home. We don't need anybody else to come in our house and make us complete. You see, Dad, listen up. The greatest gift that you can give your kids is to love their mom. But it also goes, wife. The greatest gift is that you love your husband. You see, when fathers show their love for their wife, it creates security. It creates great stability, and it creates great peace at home. You see, when I hear people say that they don't have time, my heart breaks. Sometimes I walk around the corner, and that's the most amazing date that me and my wife has, walking around my neighborhood. Because me and my wife are talking. We're saying, baby, I love you. She always says I look hot. I'm like, thank you. You see, but when I hear people say that they don't have time for this or they don't have money, you don't need money. You know what you need? Men, you need to touch your wife's hand. Men, you need to say, baby, I love you. You need to give your wife a hug. Women, listen up, women. Even when it seems like he's not the best of the best, encourage him because you are the one that changes him into the man he can be. The greatest gift you can give your family is time. Love is spelled T-I-M-E. Now you're saying, really? No. But love is really spelled T-I-M-E. Love, time. Spend time with all your children. Even though they seem like they can give you a headache, the Bible says that they are a gift from God. So you just got to love them. Love them until you can't love them anymore. The second point to create an incredible family is that an incredible family encourages growth. An incredible family encourages what? Growth. Alex, I have a picture. Can you show up that picture for me of my garden? I actually put that picture up there so you guys can get jealous. Because my garden is sharp. But let me tell you something. We must understand that a family is like a garden. A family is like a garden because you have to develop it. You have to cultivate it. You have to water it. You have to take care of it. You see, my children, I'm like this every day. My wife, I'm like this every day. My other son, Jaden, who I'm still praying for, I'm like this every day. He's the youngest, and I'm like this every day because I'm trying to cultivate who he's going to become in the near future. My wife is like this on me every day. She's dunking it on me. She's cultivating it. She's pruning it. She's cleaning it up. You see, this is the second thing that that makes an incredible family. To see a family that encourages growth in each other. If you're not encouraging growth in each other, I don't know what you're doing. This year, I was able to get my bachelor's degree. I was able to get my bachelor's degree. Alex, can you put that photo up? You don't know how hard it was for me to sit down in front of a computer and study. Because as a child, when I was in the public school system, it was hard for me. I wasn't always focused. They were saying, this dude is not going to make it this far. This guy might become something basic. But my wife was on the other side like this. My kids on the other side was like this. My dad with his text messages was like this. My brother, my sister-in-law Jessica, my aunts and my cousins and my mom over there. She said, Papa, you can do it. And there was moments where I thought I couldn't do it because I'm not the best reader. But I sat in front of the computer for almost 3.5 years. And I would lock myself in my room because I had people that were encouraging growth in my life. I had family that were encouraging growth in my life. I had people saying, man, you got this. You can do this. Don't worry about what people say about you or what the district said that you were only going to amount to. You got this. So now I can say that I'm an engineer. You see, at the moment, like you don't understand how hard it was for me. But I remember my wife used to come in my little room that we made in my house so I could study. And she saw me with a pencil. She said, Papa, you look hot. And that would encourage me. Or she would say, wow, you look very handsome today. And that encouraged me. When I was in front of my computer and I was typing like this, she said, boy, you are so fast. I said, yes, I am. That encouraged me. I'm the person that I am here in front of you because I received growth from a family that promotes growth. Now, understand something. Husbands, you also want to encourage your wife to grow to their fullness potential. The same goes for wives. Encourage your husband to get to their fullness of their potential. Again, I thought I wasn't going to be able to. I was done. I did 2 years and I got my associates. I said, I'm done. Then my wife said, no, you got this, papi. And that word changed me. She called me papi and I said, I'm getting my bachelor's. You must understand that while the world system, understand this. While the world system says one thing, or the school system says another thing, the family system says another thing too. It says a lot. People's like, I like hearing people when they come up to the pastor and they say, Pastor, man, you got an incredible family. Or they say to my mom, you have an incredible family. But the incredible family didn't happen overnight. It took time. It took having fun. It took time of growth. You know how hard it is for my dad to encourage me and my brother? Son, you can do this. You got this. And me and my brother like this. But he was pouring into us. My mom was pouring into us with her hugs and her kisses and just her love. That picture shows that you can do it too. If you have a strong family behind you, you can do it. You can do anything. I'm here in front of you because my dad says, you're going to do it no matter what. And if this isn't happening in your family, why don't you become the one that makes that change? I'm going to say it again because I thought that was good too. If you are not having this in your family, or you're not feeling this in your family by anybody, why don't you start this activation of growth in your family? Look at your nieces and nephews, say, Papa, you got this. You got this. Look at your brother-in-law, say, bro, you got this. Look at your sister-in-law and say, girl, you know I like you too. You got this. Look at your mom and dad and say, you got this. Because sometimes we say, I'm like this because of my family. Today you're receiving a word that's saying, why don't you start activating yourself and activate everyone else in your family to grow to their potential. Luke 2:52 says, and this was said, and Jesus was around 12 years old. It said that Jesus grew in wisdom, in stature, and in favor with God and man. Proverbs 24:16 says, for though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. Are you getting where I'm going? When you got a family just doing this to you and just pouring growth onto you, there's no one that can bring you down. This is why we need families to be there for us, because we will have moments where we will be down and out. There's times in my life, in my personal life, where I'm saying, I'm a Christian, but I shouldn't have this diagnosis. And this is, I'm being straight up with you. There's times where I'm saying, why me? Why do I have to live like this? Why do I have to live with this? My kids are young. Why? Why? It's so that I can be in front of you today, encouraging you, saying that you could do the same thing. I'm family to you. I'm your brother. I'm your cousin. And I just want to pour growth onto you, saying that you're going to go Monday. Tomorrow you're going to wake up. And you're going to go back to work maybe. And there might be that one person that's saying, you're not going to amount to anything. Or I need this done this way. And they don't like the way you're doing it. I'm saying you got this. You're not alone. You see, family help. I'm going to show you two things. Family helps others grow through example. Every time I got in trouble, my dad would throw a verse at me. My dad would use the Bible to give me counseling. And I learned a lot about the Bible that way. But he will keep pouring into me by giving me example. Deuteronomy 6:7 says, since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. Growth happens through example. That's all. Look, growth happens through conversation. Have conversations with each other. Hey, being married isn't easy. Talk to your other and say, hey, baby, you're saying it this way. I don't like that you said it this way. Have that neutral way of conversation where you guys can talk to each other. Now, these are two ways that growth doesn't work. Growth does not happen through criticism. Women, don't ever tell your man that your friend's husband is a great example of a husband. Again, don't ever tell your man that your friend's husband is a great example of a husband. And women, understand that that man right there is the most precious gift that you probably will have for the rest of your life. Oh, girl, stop it. And then, listen, men, don't ever say to your wife, that man is a lucky guy. Because the luckiest man is the person who has that one person next to them. Every time I'm driving and my Kia Spectra paid off, and my wife is on the passenger side, and I hear a little thing happening with my engine, like little noise and little stuff like that, guess what I do? I put the sound up. And she looks at me and she said, why you do that? I said, because we don't got no problems. There's no situation, there's no problems with us, baby. We're okay. We fixed the problem. Yo, I got one car paid off and is burning out on me and the engine sound all messed up, but guess what? That's the best car that I have because I purchased it with my wife alongside of me. And we have another car being paid off in March, so both my cars will be paid off. So if you hear some cars making some sounds, just know that those cars are paid off. Amen. Hey. Oh, Andy, you're going to have to help me out here. Oh, thank you. Third point I want to make is that an incredible family protects each other. They protect each other from negative words. They protect each other from frustration. But only an incredible family does that. Some of us are living like this. But when you have an incredible family, it just pops up. When me and my wife are in some situations, I call my dad. I say, Dad, how? Or I call my mom and I say, how can we solve this situation that I have at home? I call him first. I say, Dad, what's going on? I don't have anybody right now. I need to talk to somebody. He goes like this. Bro, I've been through that. I know exactly what you're going through. Bro, you got this. Don't worry. I'll give you some advice. You follow these advice the way I say, and it'll be all right. But that happens why? Because of family. Sometimes we want to have this kind of family, but we're not doing the first thing, which is enjoying each other. We're not doing the second thing, encouraging growth. When you do that, when you encourage growth and you have fun and you develop an environment of enjoyment, family's always there. You see, when I got sick in April, remember, I was preaching. I was preaching about how we need to have peace in our sickness. In the midst of our sickness, we must have peace. And then I got tested. I was picking up my son, Jaden, from the bus, and as I was waiting there for the bus to come, I started feeling an out-of-body experience. I felt that my body just left, myself left my body, and I was screaming for help, and no one was listening to me. At that moment, I felt useless because I had my son Jaden in the back, and I was screaming for help, and nobody was there to help me. And I screamed, and my brain was acting up, and I started to see, I had one eye seeing very far, and the other side seeing very near, and it was just, I was feeling so dizzy, and I had to fall for some people. I actually pulled somebody over. Somebody was driving up the street. I said, yo, stop. And they stopped, and I said, call, let me see your phone. And the first person I called was my father, because that was actually the only number I had instilled in my brain. Do you understand that? That's how much communication I have with my father. That number is instilled here. iPhones, you don't have to even push the numbers anymore. You just say dad, or mom, or cousin, or whatever, and it'll just automatically call that number. But this man had a phone on him. I didn't have my contacts saved on his phone, and I remembered my father's number, and I called him. My dad said, dude, you're okay? And I said, Dad, I don't know what's happening, Pop. I need your help. And this happened. My dad called my mom. My mom called my brother around the street. Everyone came to help me. You don't know what it is when you have a family that works like this. That when you're down and out, they're like this, Papa, you got this. It's going to be okay. We love you. Papa, at that moment, I told my father and my mother, said, I felt like I was going to die. My wife came. She came from New Jersey. My wife works in New Jersey. And she came, and an ambulance picked me up and took me to the hospital, and I was so happy that I had my umbrella family with me. Well, that all started with my parents. They developed the fun and the enjoyment that we had. They also developed growth and the love that we had amongst each other. You would never see me and my brother fight. You would never see me and my brother fight. Or if we fight or have an argument, tomorrow we're like this. What's up, baby? It changes that quickly, because that's what family is about. That's what family is about. And I know some people are saying, but I don't have that. Yes, you do. You have that here. You have that here. I don't know, but I wanted to share this example before I get to my fourth point. And before I get to my fourth point, I want to actually read this one verse here. It says, it's in Ecclesiastes chapter 4:9. It says, 2 are better off than 1. If one of them falls down, the other can help him up. But if someone is alone and falls, it's just too bad, because there's no one to help them. You see, last Sunday, was it last Sunday? I saw a brother here. Where is he? I saw a brother, and at our Sunday service, and he was having a problem doing the tithe. Where's he at? My boy over there, Angie. Angelo. And Angelo was doing this. He was running all over the place, and he was like, oh, I have to do this. I have to get this tithe done. And I think he found you, right? And you made a tithe for him, right? Angelo is a father, right? Right, Angelo? You're a dad, right? And you was doing that son for who? For who? You was doing that tithe for who? My son. For your son, right? Wake up, Angelo. You was doing that for who? Myself. He needed the answer. He needed the way. He needed the know-how. But he didn't just sit there and drown. We have family here. He went to the next person. He said, okay, let me talk to this guy. See if I can get help. But so much of the time, we just feel like we don't have anybody. Fourth point. An incredible family serves God and others. At that moment, we're serving each other because we love each other. People say, oh, I don't have children anymore. No, you have a lot of kids here. Oh, I never had kids. You have a lot of kids here. Oh, I'm single and, I need a father figure. Don't look for a man. Don't look for a man. God will send you one. Ask one of the fellas to say, hey, can you take my son out once a week? Maybe show him how to tie a tie. Or show him how to change a tire. Women, you don't know how much the importance of a hug is from you guys sometimes. Because some of us never had a mom. And when you get a hug from a mom, it changes a child's life. You see, I worked in teen ministry for a long time. Not as long as my dad, but I did do some time. And the biggest thing that I heard teens say first was that I feel alone. I feel like no one really cares for me. Right now, we're building up a church, and that's called Scarlet Note. It's a place for all. And here, we're going to love each other to the fullness. No matter what color, no matter what race, we love you. You don't know how much it felt before I came up here. I had my brothers pray for me out there. I started crying. They're like, why? He said, are you going to do good? I was like, you don't know how much that feels to have other people that's not blood give me a hug and say, we're going to pray for you. We got you back. First point is have fun. Second point is encourage each other. Third point is protect each other. Fourth point is that an incredible family serves each other. Maybe this week you might be that face that someone needs. Maybe this week you just need to encourage your husband a little bit more, or husband needs to encourage your wife a little bit more and say how beautiful they are. Because if you don't do it, someone else will. My hands are all out right now. Hebrews 10:24 says, remember Stephanus and his family. They were the first to become Christians in Greece, and they were spending their lives helping and serving Christians everywhere. Choose today who you will serve. As for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my family at Scarlet Note, we will serve the Lord. You got that verse? Didn't have that verse? You want me to? Yeah, we had to read it. You got to wake up. Oh, okay. Put it up there. I love you, Aaron. I love you. I love your life. I'm actually done. I already did my 4 points. Listen, calm down. I was at home, and when my father said he was going to do the message, I was like, what am I going to talk about? And because our topic is about family, please write these notes down. Please understand how important it is to love each other, to encourage each other, to encourage growth, because it is so important. My children right now, they're not at the age of teenagers right now. Some of these teenagers here. I don't know what you guys are going through. One day I will know. But at the moment, I'm encouraging so much love in their hearts that they won't have to go to anybody else for answers. So I just want to pray over you guys. I got to wait till my spiritual music turns on. Because that's when you know the pastor's on point, when that music turns on. The atmosphere changes. So, dear Heavenly Father, we come before you, Lord. I just want to say thank you, Father, for giving me this opportunity. I don't take this opportunity lightly. And I just want to say thank you for loving us all the same. As we talked about family today, Father, and as we continue talking about family.
Hey, thanks again for tuning in to our podcast. why don't you consider partnering up with us? Go onto our website at www.scarletnote.org and look up our giving portal where you can partner up with us and help support this work. So thanks again, guys. Remember, Scarlet Note is a place for all.